Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers live on our Weekday Wagers YouTube channel as well as social media. You can find us over on X as well as our Twitch channel. But today on the show, we're going to go ahead and continue what we've always done, and we're going to take a TV timeout towards the end of the show as we continue to talk the Traitors Season 4. It should be a good one because we have somebody that's kind of important to us, but also to you all. Chris Bassett, he is the husband of Candiace Dillard Bassett, and so who is on the show, who is killing it as a trader. I have a lot of questions. We have not talked yet about the Traitors, so I'm kind of saving all my questions for the show. But yesterday on the show, it was a trader kind of a show. Yeah, that thing let us down. Capitals suck. I don't even know that guy's name. Yeah. He sucks too. So we're not even going to play those guys. We're going to move on from them, but we're going to have a hell of a day today. But thank you all for joining us and making us hopefully a part of your day and watching us live, because if you're not watching live, you're always and going to be behind. But today, let's go ahead and bring in my partner, the guy who's here with me today, Marky Motto. What up, man?
Hey, DG, I am just so happy to be here on a day where we get Seabass. And you know what? Honestly, I'm here simply because Robbie's son has gone through another surgery. I believe that they're finally out of surgery now. They're in recovery. So wishing John all the best. Get home tonight. It's a recovery. It's a secondary surgery to the accident he had earlier. So thoughts and prayers are with Robbie and his family. But you know what? That means I get to slide in and I get to be in this Traitors. Dude, I cannot believe I get to talk Traitors with Seabass. And yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah, well, shout out to John. I know that they might be following the show. At least Robbie is. He's already put in a play. So go check that out in the comments as always. But the guy who is probably a close friend at this point, I've never met him, but you have.
Yep.
But he is everybody's favorite chef. He's Seabass. What up, man?
What's going on, DG? Mark, how's everybody doing? Happy to be here. And yeah, I'll give out a play and we'll talk some Traitors. It's going to be great.
Okay, a little play, a little Traitors. I like it.
You know, that's the
Mark has so many questions, and I'm hoping they're not my same questions, but I don't want this Traitor segment to last an hour. We're hoping not for that, right? So we want to get through all these, but we do want to talk some football. And so Mark brought up an interesting topic, not a topic, but talking about the NFL. And Seabass, we haven't got your opinion really about how these playoffs have played out, but now we do see Jarrett Stidham and the Broncos. They're going to take on the Patriots. Do you have any thought that the Broncos could just not completely suck and they could make this a game?
So that's in my heart what I hope happens, right? Because this is the AFC Championship game,
right?
And then to go in there and you've got this lame duck Bronco team where we could have had a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson, something somewhere, somebody. For even Aaron Rodgers, even if you don't like him, like something better, like it just, I think it kind of deflates the whole AFC side of it. So I'm hoping, yes, that it's competitive. And listen, sometimes, you go in, you've got a game plan, you've got a mindset, as the Patriots, and now you're thrown for this loop. And sometimes different quarterbacks, they can just surprise you. So I'm hoping we get some surprises.
Seabass, you bring up a great point because it should have been Josh Allen in this AFC Championship. That was not an interception. That was because we had the exact same play with Devontae and you can't tell me different. I just think that Josh Allen and the Bills should be playing this Sunday. So
I agree. It's one of those things, officials, we want them to have their own mind and call the game the way they see it. And, it's like the law. It's all about how you interpret the rule of the law and how it goes. And one judge sees it one way, the other one sees it another way. It's just unfortunate that a play that looked like he's got possession, his knee is on the ground, and as they roll over, now it's in the other guy's hand. And like you said, it's same play, and we get two different outcomes of it and two different results. So it's tough. And then I think the other side of that is now McDermott is out as coach because you can't and I get it. He's turned the franchise around. They've been really, really good, but you keep stopping at the same spot. Right. And at some point it's like we got to move on, right?
Yeah, you're only as good as the highest level of incompetence. And I think that they've plateaued out and it's time for them to move on. I don't know that they handled that press conference yesterday the right way, throwing everybody under the bus. And if you're Keon Coleman at this point, you're like, I just bought a house in Buffalo, dude. What am I doing here? I need to get traded.
It's very Keon.
I'd be on the phone with my agent going, put the house on the market right now.
Yeah. And that's what we're looking at this right here. And it's all about the turnovers too. Like it was more than just that play, which that play sucked.
Joe, 4 turnovers. That last one didn't count. 4 turnovers.
It was a consistent theme in that entire show. I want to ask you real quick because I do think that there could be some speculation. I know y'all are both in the Northeast and Seabass. Do you think that this is a Brian Daboll, I guess, job to lose? Because it seems like everything's pointing to Daboll getting the job in Buffalo.
I hope it's not him. I mean, this is the thing. You see it in coaching. You see it in baseball all the time with pitchers. It's like once you're in the league, you're good. We'll just rotate you around. But what did that guy accomplish in New York? Yeah. And now we're going to send. Oh, listen, the city might have been too big for you. We'll send you out to the sticks of Buffalo. Maybe that'll. I don't get it. I don't get it.
First of all, Buffalo is the only true New York football team because the Jets and the Giants both play in New Jersey. So let's get that right out of the way, right off the bat.
Tomato.
Second of all, I agree with you. Daboll sucks. I would hate to see him in Buffalo.
God, I just don't. Yeah, Danny Dimes was the guy. And you shipped him out, and Josh Allen, while a better runner, I think, but by far a better passer. Like, what are you going to ruin that guy too? I just don't like that move at all. I hope not. I hope not. Give me some new blood. Give me somebody new.
Well, as Nate G says, he was kind of sledding uphill, right, the whole time. So maybe it wasn't his fault that they suck so bad. But speaking of the Buffalo Bills, if you had to pick a coach, because obviously whoever is available, not somebody who isn't available, but if somebody is available, you would go get this coach. Who is it, Seabass?
Oh, man. I mean, he's available. I never really liked him. But that being said, how do you not give a call to Mike Tomlin?
100%. I literally was please don't say Mike Tomlin, please, because 100% agree with you.
I think that has to be the understand. Like, I think that is the layup. Like you got to make that call. But from my understanding, he said he's done, especially for this year. So is there anybody else out there?
Maybe. Everybody's done until you start dangling money in front of them, right? I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin.
Right.
What did you say? I mean, I know I just signed with LSU, but you got a little bit more up there.
Right.
It's cold blood. Yeah.
Not a big fan of Kiffin and what he does. He ruins and pisses off everybody possible before he leaves. Let's go to that other game because this should be the best game of the entire weekend. We have the Seattle Seahawks as well as the LA Rams going into Seattle to take them on. How do you see this game playing out? Because, obviously we have our thoughts on that and how both of these teams have gotten there. Seattle just demolished San Francisco, and then we're barely getting by with LA every time. But now they're there. They matched up twice already this season. How do you see this game playing out, Seabass?
This is a tough one. Like, I want to see LA. Actually, maybe I want to see Seattle. I don't know who I want to win, to be quite honest with you. But all I can think about when I think about Seattle is Sam Darnold. But I don't think about Sam Darnold from last year Minnesota or Sam Darnold this year with Seattle. I always revert back to Sam Darnold and the Jets. And it's like, how do you get here? Now, granted, 2 years in a row, he's gone from one year, right? And he's played very, very well. And that defense they have in Seattle is solid too. But I think talent-wise, top to bottom, I think the Rams have the better paper lineup. And we'll see what they can do with it. I think I'd like to see the Rams. But the Seattle team they're tough. They're really tough.
Yeah. Mark?
First of all, I can't think of Seattle without going to Seabass's Stadium Eats with the Seattle dog. If you haven't seen that, go see it. It's the best damn tasting hot dog you will ever have in your life. I love it. That being said, you're right. This is not the Sam Darnold that everybody's used to. And when you look at it and you say, well, how did Seattle get here with Sam Darnold? I can't get behind Darnold and Especially when you have Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. Sean McVay is coming off one of his worst coaching jobs against last week. I mean, last week he was horrible. He made some really questionable calls as a coach. I think they get that figured out. And you know what? I think they just get by in Seattle as well.
Wow. All right. Final thoughts. And I'm not going to go to Mark on this one because we'll have to ask him tomorrow what his predictions are. But I want your predictions about the two games. Who do we see win that Broncos-Patriots, Seabass?
I don't think you can say anybody other than the Patriots. I think it's got to be the Patriots.
All right. Then we have Seattle and the Rams. Who wins that one?
I'm just going to go with my heart and what I want and deep inside of me. And I'm going to say the Rams. I think we get Patriots-Rams for this is the third time now.
That's why I like Seabass. He always does the right thing.
All right. Well, I can't let you go that quickly because we do have the Super Bowl coming up. So you think that if these two teams matched up, Rams, Patriots, would you pick the Rams still to go win over in the Super Bowl?
I'm going to stick with my heart and how I feel because, I'm a big Tom Brady fan, and I would hate to see the Patriots win another ring so quickly without Tom Brady. So I would take the Rams.
Wow. All right. A lot of LA love. Yeah, Joe's going Seabass parlay. All right. Well, my Metzger's here. Yeah, Tony Metzger's here. It's like excited to see Seabass. I think that everybody is excited to see Seabass on the show. Even this morning, Coach saw that you were going to be on Weekday Wagers and had to ask me about it and asked me what we were chatting about. And so, as always, we had to make sure we're talking some Traitors. But as everybody knows, we're not just here talking about football or talking about the Traitors. We're also here giving you our best bets. So we all have our best bets, and we're going to piggyback off here right after our favorite ad. You know what we're playing?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's going to turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't-miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
Look, first of all, I do need a stinking model Seabass, so I'm going to stick with that. And I also need my Seabass all seasoning blends. But tonight I am going with a first period under 1.5 because this play in Columbus with the Dallas Stars and the Blue Jackets, you can get it at plus 105. This is all about goaltending and very, very early game structure. And both sides check the right boxes here. We're getting plus money on a first period under with 2 goalies who have been absolutely excellent at setting the tone early. And that matters more than overall team offense in this window. Let's start with Dallas. We get Casey DeSmith, who comes into this game riding a 4-game streak without allowing a first period goal. And that's not accidental. He's been sharp out of the gate, seeing pucks cleanly, controlling rebounds, and most of all, he's benefiting from a Stars team that's content to play patient hockey early. Dallas doesn't need to force the issue in this first 10 minutes. They're comfortable feeling teams out before ramping things up. And why is that important? Because when a team scores in the first 10 minutes, usually that is a direct correlation to the first period going over, which is why I love this side. On the Columbus side, Jet Greaves, he's been even more impressive in this split. He's held opponents scoreless in the first period in 17 of his last 22 starts. That is absolutely elite early game consistency, especially for a team that often leans on its goaltender to stabilize things before opening up offensively. Columbus understands that they have limitations, right? And typically they play a more conservative opening frame, especially against structured opponents like Dallas. When you layer that on top of the team trends, this under makes even more sense. Both teams fall closer to the middle of the pack in first period scoring. Neither consistently pushes pace. In particular, Dallas is comfortable winning games later rather than blitzing out of the gate. This doesn't need to be perfection. We can get through a power play, a couple of chances, even some sustained zone time, as long as both goalies do what they've been doing lately. Give me the under in Columbus.
All right, let's go, Seabass.
All right, well, while Mark is going for first period boredom, I'm going for fireworks. I got Panthers and the Jets, Winnipeg tonight, over 5.5 goals. Now, both of these teams, they're allowing and scoring about 3 each, so about 6 goals per game combined. 3 of their last 5 for both teams have gone over this number. And then if we look at home and away stats, the Panthers, 6.5 goals a game when they're on the road. The Jets, 6.5 goals per game while they're at home. And the Panthers have done that in 3 of their last 4. The Jets have gone over in 2 of their last 3. So it makes sense to me to take the over.
I like it. I have another over as well, and this is Quentin Post. And if you don't know who he is, he plays for the Golden State Warriors. So I'm going to go over an alt line here of 5.5 rebounds. It's at plus 190. I was looking at the 4.5. It was even money at plus 100. That didn't get me out of bed. I think he can get to 5 rebounds. I also think he can get to 6 rebounds. And if you're wondering how high would you go on the ladder, I'm taking this thing all the way up to 10 plus rebounds at plus 1,400. He's been over the 5.5 in the last 3 games. There's no Jimmy Butler now. And it's Dwight Powell. He sucks. He has to go against Dwight Powell. I might be able to get a rebound or 2 on Dwight Powell. He sucks. I'm going to go ahead and take the guy who doesn't suck. And I like Quentin Post to grab some rebounds tonight. All right, boys. We're climbing the ladder. Feeling good. Yeah. Mark's anxious about all his questions for Traitors. So I think it's time. I think we get ready. We talk some Traitors. All right, let's talk in Traitors here. Let's go to UC Bass. I'm going to come out of the gate with my questions because I want to make Mark wait just a little bit longer. And if honestly anybody in the chat has questions, I would love to kind of put you on a platform, spotlight that, and let's see if we can get maybe a quicker question line here if everybody's got a lot of questions. My first one is very simple. It's the first time you've ever watched Traitors. So an honest opinion about this season, because I've heard differing opinions about this season so far. So it's just as a whole, not as a husband, but as a whole of the show Traitors.
Yeah, as the show itself, I actually like it. I find it to be intriguing. I like the different nuances of it. Leading up to my wife leaving to go to the show, we did watch a few episodes. She watched, I think, all 3 seasons. I just popped in and caught a couple episodes, but I like it. I do like the layout, the setup of the show. I saw a lot of people online talking about they don't like the secret traitor. They think it's stupid. Why would you do that? I think, because I had never seen the show before, I think the idea of it was good. I think it just, in this particular instance, it didn't work out the way they planned. So those are the people that, are fans of the show. People don't like change, but I like the show. I do like it. I'm going to go back and watch the other episodes and the other countries too.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many countries and there's so many happening. It's hard to kind of wrap your mind around it. All right, Mark, I know you got some questions. What you got?
Listen, I am a Traitors. I love Traitors in this country, in that country, in all the countries, celebrity, normal Traitors. I've seen them all so far. I do have a question. As you're watching the Traitors, do you get a chance to watch that with Candiace, or do you keep that separate? Because I think I'd be very interested on how that plays out.
No, we watch it together. We watch. Yeah, we sit there and watch it together. Because there's, I don't know if she's always worried I'm going to say something, get her in trouble. So I don't want to get her in trouble because I don't know if that's allowed to be. No, I think she did say it. And so I'll just go to the conga line, right? Everybody was like, well, that's an interesting moment. Like, why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. Apparently it was talked about before that. It would just, being on reality, a lot of stuff gets cut, right? You got to fill the time slot with the most important things. And so it did look kind of funny, but apparently it was talked about, whatever. But she doesn't tell me a lot. Like, so if you go through like episodes 1 through 3, I'm like, oh, who'd you guys kill in the forest? She wouldn't tell me. She said, "Oh, you're just gonna have to wait." And I was like, "But you're right here. Why do I have to wait?" She won't tell me. She's gonna make me watch the whole thing, which is good. But no, we watch it together because a lot of stuff, she only knows what she filmed, so she's also getting to see some other stuff that she didn't know happened in and around the castle and stuff.
So that was my next question. Follow up to that is that because she's not involved in every actual scene and element of what's happening, is it interesting to hear her kind of reflect back on, "Ooh, I wish I would have done that then"?
Yeah, she really hasn't had any of those moments. I think so far she's pretty pleased with how she's being shown and the game that she played. What did she tell me? She mentioned something to me the other day that she might have done a little bit differently. And I'd say it wasn't that big of a piece for me, so I didn't really pay too much attention. I've already forgotten. My big question, though, for her was, like, is the smoked salmon really that good? Like, what's the deal with the smoked salmon?
The last question I have for you, and then I'll let DG ask his questions, is along that same vine, how annoying is Michael Rappaport's eating habits?
Like, sir, where did you learn how to eat?
Right.
And I got that to me.
Dude, you know you're on TV. Why are you shoveling that into your face?
So this is my take on Michael Rappaport and what I know and don't know. Like, he comes across as somebody who wants to be a housewife so bad. And I think I don't know if he's playing a game or what, but to me, it looks like he's looking for attention. He's looking for that iconic moment, as we say in Housewives world, what's going to make me stand out. And maybe that was it for him. I can't imagine that that's how he really eats.
Dude.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
The plate is in your mouth, sir. Maybe needed some insurance money. I don't know.
It was not a good look for sure.
It was not.
And it's very fitting of his character, like on the show. I don't know him outside of that, but it fit. Like, all right, he's just a little crazy, a little unhinged. Go back to the salmon stuff. Is the smoked salmon really that good? Does she share exactly about it?
Yeah, she said it was like some of the best food that they had at breakfast. But the thing with it was, like, because everybody comes in like in waves, and she said on the table is like 2 plates, like this big. There's one at this end and one at that end. Oh, I can.
Wow, look at
That's
you.
A circle, not a heart. It's a circle. Wow.
What?
Never seen that before. The camera loves me, guys.
Mine doesn't do that.
Mine doesn't do it either.
But yeah, she said there just wasn't a lot of it, and it was like the best thing there. Because apparently, I saw an interview that Kristen did from Top Chef. Obviously, they're asking about food, but there's like no cooking in the castle, right? There's like no heat. She said she was trying to make a grilled cheese using the toaster. So yeah, it's.
Do they stay in the castle, or are there accommodations outside of that?
So it's been floating around on Twitter that they stay in a hotel about 20 miles from the castle, like out by the airport.
Gotcha.
That's what Twitter says.
Yeah, I was always curious about that. So I know you can't share exactly everything, but that does sound like that connects, we'll say. All right. So I do have some questions because we did have Michael Rappaport go home this last show. And so now it is potentially set up to where we don't know if anybody took the shields or not. So I'm going to ask you about the show as general as we can. So the shields this week, in your opinion, Seabass, do you think anybody took any shields?
Yeah, so I asked, of course, right? Because I want to know, like, what's happening. I'm still going to watch, but I want to know, because if I'm not mistaken, I think my wife was in the group with Colton.
Yes.
Yes. And this is the thing about my wife. Love her to death, but even when we were on Housewives, what'd you guys talk about when you were at this scene or whatever? She don't remember anything. It's like she's there in the moment, then she's done. She doesn't remember. She's like, I don't even know what I said. Now my thought is, if I know my wife, I feel like Colton probably would try to convince the group to take shields. He wanted it really bad, right? But my wife, she's a loyal person to a fault. Loyal. And I would think that because she's a traitor, but is trying to play the game out of loyalty for the rest of the faithfuls, I think that she convinced them to not. That would be that's my guess. That's the only person who I would think would want to take the shield. Natalie, that's the other girl's name, right? Natalie?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. She mentioned it, but I don't know that she is in the camp of going out and doing that. It doesn't make sense, I don't think, for her game. I really only thought Colton was like the only one that would like push the issue for taking a shield. And I just don't think Candiace would have let him.
Mark?
I found it interesting because I can honestly tell you this. First of all, your wife has been phenomenal at being a trader.
Mention it's great.
However, I will say she just needs to shut up sometimes.
No, she can't.
Just
No.
stop.
So
She has to be herself.
Right. Exactly. And so I hear this, back and forth because I'm like in all the chat groups now.
Yeah.
Who knew like the gamers that there was a faction of gamers that are so and they're angry.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's real. I'm part of that. I
But
love
yeah,
the traders.
so I look at Lisa Rinna, who, in Housewives world, loud, boisterous, over the top, in your face. But on the show, she's been kind of reserved. And that's different from her personality. Whereas my wife, she just talks and talks and talks and talks. And I think she's doing it right she's consistent with who she is, whether you watch Housewives or not. Those that do be like, no, it's just who she is.
So you bring up the Housewives, and I really want to ask you that because as Candiace is part of that Housewives community, has she said how difficult that choice was to make to vote to murder a fellow housewife in the Housewife of Dubai? She was attached to the tree. I'm trying to remember her name.
Caroline?
Caroline Stanbury.
Caroline. Yes.
Yeah,
Because I know Caroline looked at Rena and was like, "You bitch," and was livid.
Yeah.
But-
I don't think she really had an opinion one way or the other. I think her mindset, and I think Rena's was, and how they got to it was because there's two housewives as traitors,
Right.
they had to murder a housewife. I think that was the only one that makes sense, right? If you look at Eric and Kristen, they didn't really make sense. Ron was the easy choice that could have done it, and Caroline was kind of out of nowhere. And so now you're like, oh, well, the housewives, they always stick together. They wouldn't murder each other. So I think her thought was it was something that had to be done, and it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. That's kind of where I land as well. I think somebody took it. I don't think it's from their group. I think it's from the group after. And I think it was the Michael Rappaport group, I believe. I think they took the shields because he got sent home by the faithful, but not at night. So the shield couldn't cover him while he was there at the round table. So I think that group took the 4 shields. We'll see. If they did, who do you think they send home? Because Colton's been floated. Colton seems to be on to certain people. Seabass, do you think you have pinned? If they were to send somebody home, who would it be?
I think he talk. You want to talk about talking a lot? Colton talks a lot, like
So
a lot. He comes across as a pick me, like it me. Everything's about me, and I'll leave. Okay, I hope it's Colton. I don't know who it is, but I don't think it's going to be Colton. I feel like it's got to be Ron's time to go.
Right.
But by the traders, though? Why would the traders do that?
No. So, because, the round table is going to happen first before the traders murder somebody.
No. The round table is going to be at the end. But the murder comes.
The murder comes. That's right. I'm so sorry.
Right. Or the murder doesn't come, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
we gotta say, do we think a shield was taken? I think I say no.
Okay.
I agree.
Nobody goes home.
So there wouldn't be a murder.
Right.
And so I'm going to the round table. And I just think it's got to be Ron. And I think this is where Candiace has been really strong at the round tables, is because she's just consistent. And I'm going to continue to vote how I think. And I think it's working out brilliant because now they're all listening to Colton every time, and it's been a faithful every single time.
Right.
It's like, guys, let's focus. So that's where I think it's going to go.
100%, because her consistency is what has allowed her to fly under the radar. But I do think Ron goes home. I think that there's just been too many things. He really stepped out on day 1, episode 1, and it changed everybody's mind, and that turned out to flop. And ever since then, he's been, to
that's
Nate's point, he's been sledding uphill.
I find that crazy. Like, so he took his big swing and missed.
Right.
And
On
now
Porsche.
everybody's like, oh, we don't want to, we're not listening to Ron anymore.
Right,
really.
right.
And Colton's taking a big swing every other time and missed. And everybody's still like, oh, yeah, let's do what Colton says.
Who talks like that?
I was reading Kim's comment here, my wife's soggy shoes.
Dude,
watching that's it. I was cracking up as we're watching that scene. They're in the fountain, right? And then you hear Alan on the side. Come on, Candiace, America's watching.
So
yes.
He just hates outside.
There is a question that Robbie, who's at the hospital watching this, and God bless you, Robbie. I hope everything's going well. Is Jam insufferable in person as he is on TV, or is that just editing?
I've never met him in person, so I don't know. And I didn't ask my wife because he's in. I care not to, like, he bothers me. Like, I can't listen to him. Like, was it fake crying? Was it real crying? His hard on for Michael. I get it. Michael rubs people the wrong way, but it's like, oh my God, you're from the show, right? I feel the same as you, insufferable, and like he can go anytime.
All right, let's piggyback on that. I got a 2-part question. All right, let's go with the bottom 2. So if there's 2 people and maybe Jam's one of them, 2 people you're like, all right, I'm good on them. Like, let's get them out of here. If you were on the show or just from watching the show, has nothing tied into Candiace at all. This is just you as Chris Bassett saying, hey, I just haven't liked these 2 people. Who would those 2 people be?
Like from the remaining people that are left right now.
Correct.
Yeah. I think it's got to be. Oh man, I've got 3. It's Colton, Ron, and Jam. You
don't like Ron? Okay.
Well, Ron, like, I don't know if they broke his spirit after he missed with Portia, but for a comedian, the guy's like Eeyore. Like he's just like, I don't want to get to know anybody. I'm gonna sit here on the couch. I don't care about you all. Well, fine. We don't care about you either. You can go.
Time to go.
So Ron is on that list. Jam, just because I can't listen to that guy. Mostly because maybe his name is spelled Yam Yam, but we got to call him Jam. I don't understand that one either. But whatever. And then Colton, the pick-me of everyone. So that's the 3. I know you said 2, but
that's okay. I was gonna ask 3, but I was like, is that too many? I don't want to like make too many enemies. But hey, I love that you went for 3 because I want to go top 3. Obviously, Candiace is a number 1, so obviously the 3 under them. So your top 3 people, for whatever reason, because you might not have known, because there's a lot of people that are realizing like, hey, I didn't know who this person was before the show. So is there 3 people that kind of jumped out to you like, all right, I kind of like these people?
Mark Ballas.
Okay.
Like him. Yeah, we haven't really seen much from him. And so I will say that Candiace has a group chat with about 7 or 8 people that they still talk to each other very regularly. And then she shot a video while she was in New York last week. I don't know if you guys saw it, of them like a little dance, which I'm hoping might be a preview to get her on Dancing with the Stars. That's my pitch. We'll put it out there in the universe. But no, Mark has been really cool. Obviously, Candiace is up there. Snake Charmer boy. I wish you would wear more clothes. Like, why do you don't ever have any clothes on? And then, of course, I say that on Twitter, and everybody's like, oh, you should have seen him on Love Island. He's actually fully dressed compared to that.
True.
I never watched that show.
I did.
There's one more. You know who I would have liked to have seen more of? Not that I knew anything about him before this show, but it's given my wife a lot of love online and talked to her. Rob C. from Survivor. I hear he's like this brilliant gamer. And I mean, he was on the conga line in seconds. He was like murder in plain sight. Clock it.
You're right.
I would have loved to see more of him on the game.
Okay. I like that answer because that was one of Robbie's favorites. To be on the show was Rob C or whatever it is. Yeah, Mark.
Yes,
and I was just going to say
it's got a lot of consonants. I don't know how to
correct.
But they had to get rid of Rob C because he was on them like that. What about Johnny? Because Johnny can't do a damn thing. Johnny, and at what point do you look at him and go, okay, you bring nothing to this?
Well, so that's just it. So you look at Johnny like, this is an Olympic athlete, right? A figure skater who's jumping up and spinning and doing all these things. Falls in the water. Can't find.
He doesn't do water. He doesn't do water.
About in the swamps. Can't we don't even know if he could stack them because he couldn't find any to begin with. But maybe it's his personality. And so they're like, he's not smart enough to pull off being a traitor, right? Or as a faith, or maybe he is the traitor for himself and he's playing just such a brilliant, dumb game that there's no way anybody would expect him. So I think they need to keep him around because they think he's a faithful. They don't want to get out any more faithfuls because this guy, like, what are you doing? You're just out here living your best life.
Yeah, I agree. And it's definitely Johnny is a little weird at times. But I know that on the show they're painting that Tara Lipinski and Candiace are close or cool on the show. I'm guessing maybe have you heard or had any conversations or heard them talking since the show at all?
Oh, yeah. So Candiace was in LA a few weeks ago. A few weeks, it was probably like a few months ago. I forget why she was out there. Again, she's just gone. But she took the baby with her and her mom was out there with her. But she borrowed a pack and play from Tara. She drove to the hotel for him. And yeah, they still talk all the time.
That's cool.
Wow. They talk a lot. They were on a FaceTime one day and I walked in. She's like, say hi to Tara. And I was like, oh, I've never spoke to an Olympic athlete before. Hey, how you doing? So yeah, they talk a lot. They talk a lot. That
cool.
whole sort of friendship that, I think Candiace said something, I can't get rid of Tara. I need to borrow her curling wand because mine broke or whatever. Yeah, it's a legit friendship that they made and still talk.
Yeah. I love that. All right. Well, that's enough of talking Traitors. We'll continue to do this as long as Seabass can find it in schedule. Hopefully we can keep doing Thursdays, but you never know. Just like my schedule has been crazy busy. I know yours as well. But let's go through these latest comments because I do have some plays since this is a betting show. I want to make sure we get through these. Give me your thoughts on these. All right. So whoever wants to take it, Mason
Marchand.
What? That says Marchman.
Yeah, that doesn't say Marchand. That doesn't make sense. Whatever. He needs a point at FanDuel for plus 124. Productive with 70% hit rate. Pre-injury, revenge game. Cool. So good play from Robbie here.
He plays for the Columbus Blue Jackets now. He's coming off injury. He got traded by Dallas, and this is a spot for him to come out against Dallas and show it's that whole X thing, Let me show you what you're missing. Boom, put it up. I love that spot.
All right.
Okay. Just so I'm clear, points are for assists and goals only, right? You don't get a point if someone else scores. That's only on the plus minus. We're talking about actual point, not plus minus.
Correct. It's a point. So if you get the assist or the goal, it's a point.
Or a hockey assist, right? The double.
Yes.
So
that's right. Yeah, we got 3 assists on 1 goal.
Yes. All right. 3-leg parlay for today. This is from Nonsense McGee. Houston, Philly over 221.5. Denver, Washington 228.5. And then Charlotte, Orlando over 227.5 for plus 500-ish.
Wow.
Ish. A lot of overs. I'll tell you, Denver, Washington, I think that's a good over for sure.
Yep. Like that.
Houston, Philly, I think is a good over. Charlotte, Orlando, that could go either way depending on who's playing and how's LaMelo coming off the bench. What's he doing? I don't know.
Okay,
that's the one leg there that I'm like, but I like the other two.
All right.
Yeah, Charlotte is coming off
500 points or 12.
Right.
Charlotte is coming off an 87-point game last night against the Cavaliers. That's the only leg that scares me. I agree with you 100%. I think the other two are fine. Charlotte scares me.
Oh, so they're good to what would they call it? Recession? No.
Positive regression
to the mean.
Positive regression and regression to the mean. Same thing. Yes. Positive regression here for the Charlotte Hornets. NHL. Buffalo, Montreal, 6.5. Pittsburgh, Edmonton over 6.5. And Detroit, Minnesota over 6.
I agree.
All right. Look at that.
Okay.
Mark told me he is jealous of Seabass's beard. Is this true, Mark?
It is, but not his hair.
Oh, lost.
Give and take,
Yin and yang.
It's the same color, so they could swap out.
I'm not there yet, but there's a lot in here.
Dude, it's coming.
It's
coming.
It's here. I saw a picture of me from like 10 years ago when and I was just like, oh my God, I look so young. Not anymore. Anthony Edwards, 30 points tonight. Seabass, do you like Ant-Man to get 30?
I think anytime you can get his over under 30, I think the over's a good bet. I mean, we know the kid can score. It's going to be is he hitting his threes tonight? It's going to be the difference there. I like him over 29.5.
All right, and I'm not sure if we have any more. I'm gonna come back. This is a Traitors one, Seabass. I'm gonna come back to you. This has got me. There's a lot of been speculation online of like, hey, the last person that comes in might be the person that was really talked about potentially to go home by the Traitors. So like the last guy in or the last girl in. But also, this is another one. Like how much the camera crew follows around certain contestants. Does that raise suspicion? Have you asked that by any chance?
So I didn't ask any of that. I saw some of them. We're talking about when they come in for breakfast, right? I think that's
what I was
saw
talking about.
Somebody say that the last people to come in from breakfast are always the people who were on the list to be murdered or whatever, right?
Right.
Whatever that challenge, like the people in the forest or whatever. And so they all know who was there. So I don't know if that plays anything into it. As far as the cameras go,
right.
And from my experiences in reality TV, they always have enough cameras to film everything.
Okay.
And then it's just edited to create the story, right? So I don't know that, oh, well, that guy's always like if you were a player, right? And you're a faithful and you're like, oh, well, the camera's always on Candiace. She's got to be a traitor. There's cameras everywhere. Like, especially on a game show like that, there's so many. And then they've got the cameras, I'm just assuming here, like in the castle, so they don't have a cameraman there. It's catching other stuff there. There's no
safe room.
No. and so what Candiace did tell me also is that like they're so hell-bent on nothing getting out, no gameplay, like everything has to take place on camera. So like when they got there, they took their phones, they couldn't, no communication with the outside world. Candiace had to get special permission because at the time Jet was only a few months old. But there was a producer right there. I could see like she's got me on FaceTime. She's talking to Jet and myself, and they're making sure no talk about the show. She can only talk. It was like, I think maybe 5 minutes is all the time that we had. And she could only talk to me about me and the baby and make sure he was good and that interaction. But she told me at one point, like that somehow I can't say, listen, you guys got to make sure everything is caught on camera. No talking about the game off camera. So even like when they're in the little rooms, as we see, there's always a camera there filming where everybody is. They don't allow them to kind of get out.
So how long does that last? Is that like a week process, a 2-week process? What is the timeline for the season?
So depending obviously how long you're there, if you're there all the way to the end, it's about a month. So they get like in their contract, say you need to block out, here's the day that you arrive, here's the end date, and then you can go home anytime between that.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So it's about a 4-week process.
Okay.
Was it like a 12-episode show or something?
I have no idea.
I think so. Yeah, it's like 11 or 12.
Yeah, that's
great. I mean, here's what 23 people and 2 people gone a week. Wheels down to about 12, and a reunion.
Oh yeah, that should be interesting. Is the reunion going to be live?
That I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know how that works.
All right, we'll see how it is. All right, well, last two from Scotty. He's got Aaron Gordon over 1.5 threes. I don't even know about that. I haven't seen or followed Aaron Gordon. And then Klay Thompson. I effing hate Klay Thompson. I hope he goes over Scott. So I will never play.
Hate Klay. What's wrong?
I hate Klay. Klay sucks.
He's an enforcer now.
He sucks.
He's got Megan Thee Stallion in his corner. That guy's an enforcer.
Yeah, she enforces him and asks him and makes sure he does whatever she wants him to do. That's the enforcer that he has. All right. Well, that's all our plays on the show. Make sure you go ahead and if you missed them, go back, rewind, check them out. We'll try to make sure we have Seabass for our Trader Talk every Thursday whenever we can get him. And then maybe one day after all this is dwindling down, we might be able to grab your wife one day. We'll see. We'll see if we can make it happen.
We need to kick Robbie off for that show.
We'll see if we can make it happen.
Assignment. There's the game. We need boots on the ground.
Right. For sure. All right. We'll see if we can make that happen. We'll let that tease hang out until the one day when she shows up and you're like, oh shit.
Oh man.
Candiace is here. And she's gonna wreck your world, Mark. You better start acting right.
Are you kidding? I'm gonna pick her brain. I'm like, how do I get on to Traitors?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her to talk straight-ish to you the entire time because that would be great. Nice. All right, that's all we got. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Do not miss the show. Thank you all for being a part of here and making us a part of your day. Hopefully, the best part of your day. We'll see you later.